right, guys, one thing that I really want to touch base on is the updated Dialed Archery site. So, right here, I've got my old Arxos. Absolutely loved this site. Ran it for a few years. As soon as a prototype came out, I had it in my hands on my bow. But that being said, the new proof has been released. Not only the proof itself, but a 5-pin horizontal scope has been released. And that by far is one of my biggest, most favorite updates that Dialed has come out with because I love horizontal pins. I love a 5-pin. 5-pin might be a little much. I could go with a 4, but I just wanted to cover a few things about the new proof that has been an absolute game changer from the Dialed Arxos. All right, so first things first is I think the tolerances of each machined part and how they fit together has been improved quite a bit. These on the proof are the tolerances are tight to literally nothing, and the tolerances on the Arxos are a little bit playful. You can adjust it and try to tighten it, and there are a few instances where there might be a touch of a wobble in it. And the proof, absolutely nothing at all. They listened to a few of the complaints that people had about the Arxos, and they updated it on the proof and actually proved that one, they listen to their customers, and two, they are 100% capable in doing it. The other upgrade change that I'm a really big fan of on the Arxos, there was a button to be able to push to lock it, lock the scroll, and it worked a little bit until you used it too much, and then I feel like it kind of wore down until you had to tighten that wheel over and over, at least on my experience. On the proof itself, there is a lever. You lift that lever, it scrolls. It's sorry, hard to hold. It scrolls just fine. You lock that lever, and it is literally not going anywhere. So that is a massive upgrade. Dial definitely crushed it on that. The first, second, and third axis are all marked on the proof as well. So there's a second, it says second on that screw. It says first on that screw. It says third on that screw, which makes a really big difference because I feel like a lot of people are kind of beginning to do a DIY sight in your own bow, check it, check with the level, and it from the hidden third axis screw on the Arxos to now quick and easy adjustments on the third. I know that was one of the bigger complaints that people had of the Arxos, including myself. I figured there was definitely room for improvement, and they completely pulled that off. The next thing is the pins on your sight tape where it points to what yardage you are at. The Arxos had a couple pins that worked well, but I feel like there was a little bit of off. There could be a little bit of you could be off a yard or two just by depending on what angle you look at it due to the spacing. On the proof, it is a tighter tolerance and more pointed out to where you, I mean, without a doubt, can tell what yardage it is pointing at. Next thing is the dual sight tapes. I think that is amazing. Right now, because I did not have time to sight in my pins or my markers on my sight tape, I did my top pin on one sight tape, and then I did my bottom pin on the other side tape or sight tape. So that has been super super useful. I've been able to get 90 yards out of my top pin. So that being said, my top pin at 90, 95 even, that goes, 100, 110, 120. Basically, I can get 130, 140 yards out of this sight with a 70-pound bow, 450 grain arrow, which just really goes to show you that the angle of your slider does make a difference with the dialed sights. So that has been, I mean, second to none. One of my most favorite things about the sight is being able to have a little extra yardage than that you're not getting on a typical sight. Next up is I did add the light, and right there I'll light it up for you guys. Should be nice and bright. This has been amazing. I shoot at night in my backyard constantly because now I can see my pins clear as day. It helps with my bubble. Low light situations, first light, last light. This has been a game changer. So a lot of fun to play with out in the woods. A lot of fun to play with just on the range in the backyard. Zero complaints with that. And honestly, just it is way. I mean, I loved my Arxos, but after having the new Proof with the horizontal 5 pin, I'm in love. Like, I love the Proof way more than I liked my Arxos. And I liked my Arxos a lot, but they really just shot it out of the park with the new Proof. So if you haven't already, try to find your nearest dealer or get your hands on somebody that already has a Proof. Check it out. Or take my word for it. Go over to dialedarchery.com, buy a Proof, because I promise you, this is one of the best sights I have ever put my hands on. And I don't mean that lightly. I quite literally mean that 100%. And I have purchased every sight out there that you can name of. I have bought them all. And this is very, very simple. It's easy to use, easy to set up, easy for DIY guys. If you don't have all the equipment that a shop has, you can still be able to set this up with your first, second, and third axes and get it spot on. So again, guys, that is the Dialed Proof sight. Absolutely love it. And I highly recommend checking out the 5 pin horizontal because honestly, Dials crushed it. They hit it out of the park. I don't, yeah. Once I got this in the mail, I was thrilled and have shot way more the last little bit with this sight because of how much I just love shooting it. So anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully that helps give you a little bit of insight on the new Dialed Proof.